everybody collectively agrees that reading the title of an article and basing an opinion off of it is fucking stupid. But whenever you base the opinion off of a YouTube video off of the title, somehow this is accurate? What's this? Redditors, man. What are you gonna do?
My side of the story, if you care to listen. So I have this lovely painting here, and I want to talk about a couple of different ways that we could think about games, okay?
Yeah.
Let's start with thinking about it quantitatively. And I think this is the quantitatively...
Yeah, you ran out of level.
Oh, God, I probably spelled it wrong.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Wow,
There's a lot of letters there. Quantitatively. So this is probably one of the main reasons why people would think that we want these games to fail. And I think the main thing here is to farm the hate views, right? I think
by the way, this is a simp fantasy that hate content gets more views than positive content. This is a simp fantasy that people that are mad that their game is getting criticized, this is what they like to do. It does, though. Not true. If you look at a lot of these videos, 1.2 million, 700 million. I could say this one might be negative because it has Diablo 4 in there. A lot of the videos that I did with PoE 2 were popular. And you know why? People don't like content that's negative. They like content that makes them think that they made the right decision. That's what they really like more than anything. They want to hear a video that tells them what they already think. And that's true, like, for example, every single time that, like, whenever somebody would make a video with Diablo 4, whenever the first beta came out, every video was positive. And they were super popular. And then the negative videos got shit on. And then the game comes out, and all the positive videos are getting shit on, and then the negative videos are popular. You know why? Because the consumer perception changes. That's the reason. People want to hear that their bias is right. It's driven by confirmation bias, not negativity bias. People remember the negativity bias more because that's how it affects people psychologically. But if you actually look at this, again, quantitatively, it's not true. And also, it's a short-term problem. Like, you can't farm a bad game forever. You can't farm a good game forever.
One of the main reasons why people think that we would enjoy the game to just go crashing down, because then what we can do is we can post a million videos and do reactions and this or that, and it's known in the world that drama sells, right? Like a news outlet, for example, you very rarely turn on the TV at night and hear, oh, a puppy had a great day today, had a nice little steak, went on a walk, played ball, and then he took a nap. No, it's this, the murder suspect killed 10 people, this or that, or this or that, right? So the drama
He's
sells.
right.
So I'm going to talk about myself here. I'm not going to bring the other content creators that are involved in the thread into this. They can address this if they would want to. But the interesting thing for me here is the style of content creator that I am. I played Diablo 3. I've been making content for 5 years. For 4 of it, I played Diablo 3. And I made almost 1,000 videos on the different seasons.
How?
Build guides, tier lists, leveling guides. Occasionally, I'd post like an achievement that I did. Maybe I got a rank 1 or something. But most of my content is guides. And I can count the number of reaction videos I've ever posted on my YouTube on one hand. I think it's actually less than 5 videos.
So can I, but my hand would need to have 1,000 fingers.
These hate views, if you think about it quantitatively from a financial perspective, if that's the way that you're thinking about it, do you think I make more when everybody hates the game and nobody's really watching all the guides versus, you know, the couple of drama videos that I can excavate out of the situation?
You definitely make way more money whenever the game's doing well because you can create content. Like, here's a good example. So we'll go and we'll look at me again, Asmongold Pal World. So, like, I made pretty much universally positive videos about Pal World, and these videos have like 1 million views. and people really like Pow World. Like, this is a 2-hour VOD that has 2 million views. This is a 4-hour VOD that has 1 million views. There's a huge amount of people. Pow World changed my life. There we go. 700,000 views. And guess what? I'm positive in every single one of these. There's a full playlist. Look at all this. This is crazy. We beat Pow World. Like, all these videos. These are getting, like, this is higher than even my normal average for views. Every single one is positive. Everybody is happy. Pow World made you. Yeah, clearly. And I'm positive about the whole thing. Whereas if the game is bad, you don't really, like, making content about game being bad, like, doesn't last for very long, because usually people just get tired of it. And if a game is bad, then there's never going to be a point where people are going to be keeping up on the game being bad. It's just bad and that's it. And so they move on. But a good game will get new content that people will continually be interested in. You've been shitting on WoW for decades? Yeah, but I've also been making good videos about WoW for decades. That's the thing. Hate farming is a good way to boost engagement, but overall viewership goes down? Yeah, it's just like, and also like Pow World, people like Pow World. And so I made videos that are positive about Pow World.
It's really not there. And another thing about it is, if we want all the games to fail, I mostly stay in the ARPG scene, and this is kind of the year of the ARPGs, right? So
it sure seems like it.
Here, I guess I could get away with it much more than in other years. But if you think about it, if Diablo 4 and PoE and Titan Quest and Last Epoch and Grim Dawn, if all of those are doing well...
Wouldn't it give you more stuff to do? You have tons of videos to make. You never run out of content.
Doesn't that just financially make my life a lot easier?
Yeah.
Because hopefully they'll be launching cool things on different dates. Can just make more awesome videos. And again, we're thinking about it quantitatively.
It's like, think about, for me, like, now that I'm making content about all different kinds of games, well, then that's massive for me. That's huge. Did you really find Pow World good, or you just followed how people viewed the game to gain more viewership? I mean, like, for sure, I played it, like, if everybody had hated the game, I probably wouldn't have played the entire way through the game. I'd probably just go play something else. It's probably a bit of both. I mean, like, the best thing is whenever all of these three things converge, right? So, like, I'm assuming this is what Rax is going to say. He's going to say this is this is the money aspect, this is the viewer aspect, and this is his personal enjoyment. And, like, the best thing is whenever a game is in the middle here. Like, I'm just guessing that's where he's going with this.
So when we have a lot more choices, a lot more games to jump between, you can just get a lot more money. And if you haven't picked up on it yet, this is just one of the things that I want to talk about. It's really not about the money for me. That's not really it. But that's one way that we could think about it, is quantitatively.
Sure.
So now let's look at it qualitatively. Okay, qualitate. Why did I sign up to? I'm not going to finish it. Yeah. Qualitatively. So one thing to understand is me sitting here as a content creator in a chair with a microphone, mouse, and keyboard playing the game. I'm just like you. I'm just a person. And just like you, with whatever job or occupation that you might have, if you don't like your job,
it's going to be worse.
Then it sucks every day waking up and going to it.
It's like, that's the way I felt about streaming WoW. Is like, I was always thinking, like, what am I even going to do? Like, how am I going to even make content? Like, nobody wants to watch this. It's so boring. And it's like, you feel like you're stuck in it. Like, that's the way a lot of streamers, like, that's what happens to them. And it's like, this is definitely like a first world problem. But there are streamers that are stuck. How many of you guys know, like, streamers that are stuck to, like, one game? And whenever they go away from that game, their audience just, like, totally dies and nobody cares about them. And they just completely fall off. I would say almost every single streamer is like that, minus like maybe 20 on the platform. Like, that's really it. Like, minus like maybe 20. That is it. Everybody else, people watch them for one game. You are a WoW streamer. You are a League streamer. I think it's especially true whenever you're talking about people that are playing games that are one game Andy games. Like, World of Warcraft or League of Legends, two best examples I can give. Like, people only play those games, so if you move away from that game, then nobody else is going to follow you because they don't even have any interest in it at all.
Same idea here.
Main
And
spec
one of the
games,
pieces of that is if you wake up every day and you feel like you have to stream a game that you don't like, then your job just sucks and you don't enjoy it. So you might think, well, then just don't stream the game that you don't like. But you know, as well as I know,
that it's not about the money, but at a certain point it is. And if you can't make any money and you're destroying your career by doing something, you have to ask yourself at a certain point, is it worth it? Duh. Of course somebody would do that.
Content creators are kind of bound to a certain game or a certain category because usually
they're
the moment that any content creator goes variety, it's the death of their channel. Because it's just hard to get your audience to stick with you. They've got to really like your personality.
It took me, I remember whenever I made the decision to do variety, it was like actually not with Dark Souls, it was after Classic WoW. Because like even with Dark Souls and all of that, I was like, well, I'm only doing this because Classic WoW isn't out. And then whenever Classic WoW comes out, that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to play Classic WoW, that's it. And then whenever Classic WoW came out and it didn't happen, then I was like, what the fuck am I going to do? So that's whenever I took like a 3 or 4 month break, and I came back and I actually started doing like more just chatting content, more just like broad gaming content. And I was doing a lot of WoW stuff then. You know, I would do like transmog contests, which I think I still should be doing these. You know, everybody tells me that. I agree with them. I've just been lazy. I just haven't really done it, but like overall I would do WoW content still, but the primary amount of my content was like personality based. And it took me really 2 years to do that transition fully. Because I started in 2020 and 2019, somewhere around there, mainly 2020, and then it didn't really fully happen until like I would say 2022. Yeah, about 2022, because even whenever I played Final Fantasy, I went from playing one game all the time to playing another game all the time. So it's not like I really went from being a WoW streamer to variety streamer. I just went from maining one game to maining another game. But then whenever I came back and I streamed Lost Ark, and then after that I streamed other games after that, Elden Ring, etc. That's never I like Stanley Parable, all those games. That's never I like completely went and I did variety, because I realized that in like 2019, guess what? It's not going to last. Like, this isn't going to work. This isn't a future. It's bad.
You can stream a different game every day of the week, and you can still retain your
audience. I'm lucky. I absolutely am lucky, but there's also a factor of it that I went into it. I planned for it to take a long period of time, and I went into it logically. I looked at how to approach the problem, how to solve the problem, how to address different factors, and I tried to solve the problem, and I executed on that plan.
Audience, you have absolutely made it, and you're in the 99 or you're in the 1%, which is incredible.
Yeah.
And I do not think that I am there, nor do I want to be there. I don't like streaming a different game every single day. I would be happy to play multiple ARPGs and learn as much as I can about them, but I don't want to play a new game every day. I don't want to be a variety streamer. It's never been a goal of mine.
Sure.
But that's just one of the things. Consider the audience. You want to know what was even worse for me than Diablo 4 not meeting my expectations? Was every single day, even if you are okay playing Diablo 4.
Everything's fine. People are just super negative.
And, trying to learn more about
people
the game.
Shit on it.
I made 15 100s. I played a lot, and some of them died on the way from hardcore. I was playing on hardcore. So it was even more than 15. I made a lot.
Yeah.
It's when your audience is negative toward the game too.
Yep.
And, some people are always going to be negative. People make fun of PoE all the time. People make fun of Last Epoch. But the level of negativity in the chat all day long, it wears on you. And in the thread, the one thing that a lot of people have correctly identified about me personally, whether they like me or whether they don't like me, is I am not an overly emotional person. Someone made a comment about me. It's like, I've seen Rax get, multiple rank 1s in Diablo 3, and he never cares. Like, it's rare that you even see him crack a smile. Okay, so that makes me smile. That makes me laugh. But,
yeah,
it's just, I'm not an overly emotional person, but when almost everyone in your chat is just saying over and over how much they don't like it,
it's draining and it sucks. Like, I remember I felt that way with the Prince of Persia game. I played that and people were so negative. It was like, this kind of sucks. Like, this isn't fun to do. Like, there was that. It's just depressing. It's like bad vibes. Like, what the fuck? It's really not that complicated, is it? It's just bad vibes. So, yeah, he's totally right. And also, like, it not only is it bad vibes, but there are a lot of people that come into streams and, like, they don't participate in chat, but chat enhances their experience. So, like, they're not typing, but they're enjoying. And whenever they see that in chat, it just, like, brings everything down.
It starts to wear on you.
It really does.
Another thing is just not just the streaming part, just consider how much harder it is to make content. Do you know, I genuinely started to worry because everything started to feel so negative. It was like this tornado of negativity. I honestly wondered if there would become a point where I would post just keep making a guide, and people would start saying, why the F are you still making guides on this game? You're actually pissing me off that you're still supporting this game.
People used to say that to me about playing WoW. They used to come in and be like, I can't believe you're still streaming this game. It's bad. You know it's bad. Just stop playing the game. Like, it was crazy. They would get furious at me. WoW Andes. Yeah, well, no, it was like anti-WoW Andes.
It started to wonder. It's like, wow, can I make another guide without upsetting people?
Yeah, it's just weird.
So qualitatively, when everything is going bad, it sucks. It sucks for you guys.
It just makes it worse.
And then the people like us, the content creators, a lot of them, I can't speak for all of them. Me personally, I'm sick of the negativity. And then a viewer sick of the negativity sees more negativity on the YouTube or on the Twitch and then concludes that this content creator is just feeding into it. But it wasn't that I was feeding into the hurricane of Diablo.
It's a symbiotic relationship. It's a vicious circle. The viewers are negative, so the content creator becomes negative, and then because the content creator is negative, there are more negative viewers, which makes the content creator more negative. It's just what makes sense, right? Just think about how this would naturally happen.
Diablo 4 bad. I was genuinely exhausted and couldn't continue anymore. And I was disappointed. I was feeling negative about the game at a certain point. And then I voiced that opinion. So it's not a secret. It's not like, oh, I've noticed that Rax is getting negative toward Diablo 4.
Yeah.
You're right. I was getting negative toward Diablo 4 because I wanted it to get better. It did not meet my expectations. And I tried to hang in there as long as I possibly could until I had finally reached a breaking point, and then I tried Last Epoch and PoE. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, sure.
Let's go to another topic, and this one is...
Because Rax probably had the same thing in his head, thinking to himself, like, well, whenever Diablo 4 comes out, everything's going to be fine. So, like, just hold on until Diablo 4. Diablo 4 comes out, it's fine for, like, 2 weeks, and then it's also bad. And then it's like, wait a minute, reality check. Okay, Diablo 5 is going to come out in 10 years. What am I going to do until then? Does this exact thing happen to Genshin creators, if I can recall? Yeah, exactly. It happens to every, like, big game like that. This is a reality check.
Topic about gaming. So I've talked about this before. One reason why someone might shit talk a game is because of tribalism. God, there's a lot of this. It's kind of... It never makes sense to me. It's all over.
I think it does. I think it does make sense. The reason why is that, so if you have, I remember this is one of the saddest fucking things that McConnell ever said. He said in BFA, the reason why he was still playing the game and still farming is because he thought that one day the game would be good again and people would appreciate the fact that he did it. Isn't that fucking depressing? It's like if you have, like, this really, really cool character, or like in, I don't know, a game like Honkai Star Rail, what happens whenever a gacha game goes end of service? Well, all of your money that you put in the game is deleted. So these people are like emotionally, financially, and mentally invested in these games. So they don't want to see their game die, because then all of the time that they put into the game, nobody cares about it anymore. And a lot of people do things in games because other people care about them, not because they want to do them, but because other people want them to do them. That's the reason why it happens. It never made sense to me until I found out the gacha game Death Spiral. And then once I saw that, I was able to like kind of understand some of the like underlying psychology for it. Gacha brains are fucked. Well, you do make a mistake in saying that because you're referring to them as having a brain. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
It doesn't make sense to me because it's just not how my brain works. There's so many people that like a game. And someone might really like Last Epoch, and then for some reason it connects.
Well, it's like, think about this. If you are a rank 1 gladiator in WoW, you know what that qualifies you for? Probably at this point, early Social Security. So, it doesn't qualify you to get an e-girl. It doesn't qualify you to have a Discord kitten. It doesn't qualify you to win tournaments and win money. It doesn't qualify you to have a successful Twitter presence and have people like you. But if you play Valorant, all of those things are possible. So that's why having a popular game matters to content creators too, is that the more popular the game is, the higher their ceiling is. If Fortnite was a dead game, then nobody would have ever given a fuck about Ninja. The reason why Ninja popped off, Ninja was a great player in Fortnite, absolutely, but it's also because a lot of people were playing Fortnite.
In their brain that if that's how they spend their time, then people spending their time doing other things, like PoE or Diablo 4, those are like the enemies. Those are the bad guys. So if someone says something nice about the other game, I better counter that to stick within my tribe.
Yeah, because you're not, like, all of your accomplishments won't matter inside of a video game, inside of, like, the gaming culture. Nobody cares about being good at World of Warcraft, but people do care about being good at Counter-Strike or Valorant. So, like, if you are good at the game, you want the game to succeed because you want people to care about the thing that you've invested a lot of time into. It's all, again, and the big focus of this is that none of this is logical. It's not logical at all. It's all people that are trying to protect something that they feel like they're at risk of losing.
This is something, me personally, I don't feel at all. And it's not because of a quantitative reason. It's not because, well, it's in my best interest so I can make the most money to pretend like I love every game. That way I can just milk it as much as I possibly can. I just genuinely love games. I just love them. I just like to play them. I've always have since I was a kid, which is another kind of point, the nostalgia
Imagine
point.
liking video games.
You know, I would be lying to you, and I bet you I'm certain there's other people who are going to understand this perfectly. I would be lying to you if I didn't say I secretly kind of hope that the Diablo franchise would just continue to rule the ARPG world forever, because I started playing it as a little kid. It was one of my favorite things.
Wouldn't it be
ever.
great if WoW was still as good as it was in Classic? Wouldn't that be great? I mean, it's not going to happen, right? But it would be great if it did happen.
So you kind of have that, like, a brand devotion kind of thing. And I would love for Blizzard to be like the old Blizzard. I would love for Diablo to rise to the top and be the godliest game ever. It's not currently what's happening. But nostalgia plays a factor here. And if anything, I would be rooting for Diablo 4 more than the other games.
Yeah.
And the other thing, again, we kind of talked about it, is just kind of being a gamer. Again, I just like games.
You know what game I really feel like that for is Halo. I wish Halo would pop off again. Like, Halo would just be like, you know, imagine if it was as big as, like, bro, like, fuck this COD shit. Like, can we just have Halo that has the same popularity as Halo 3 again? Yeah.
For games, any kind of genre of game that comes out that's amazing, like the PoW Worlds or the Helldivers or the Deep Rock Galactics or anything that emerges as a something that just breaks the mold and impresses everybody, I would love to support that in any way that I can.
That's what I do.
So maybe some
I
of
farm
the people
fuck out of these games
that are behind this thread are thinking like this. Maybe I haven't covered your particular reasons here. I tried to think of a lot of them.
Yeah.
But when I look here and I actually think about it from a ton of different ways, I actually don't see how you guys arrive at the conclusion that I would root for any game to fail.
Well, the reason why Rax can't understand it is because he's thinking about it logically. And the people that have this opinion are not getting there logically. They start from the position of, you aren't liking the game that I like, so you must be paid to hate the game that I like. So you can never work and you can never reason a person out. Like I say, you can't reason out a position they can reason themselves into. What the real problem is that most people start at the finish line and they work back to the beginning. So like they already create an opinion and then they work backwards to justify the opinion. So it's not like they think to themselves, why does somebody do something? They think to themselves, how can I prove that somebody is doing the thing that I think? It's like the inverse scientific method, you know?
Now, another point that I want to make is there is a massive, massive difference between making a comment like D4 bad and actually trying to help. I cannot tell you how many gigantic, multiple page outlines.
Didn't Rax write a book for Diablo Immortal? I remember this happened, like, so whenever Diablo Immortal came out, do you remember the video that Rax had where he was doing PvP and he was just getting destroyed by just like some random pay-to-win face roller that spent $15,000 in a game, and like it's like a demon hunter that's like just rain of arrows or doing the spinny thing. I forgot even what it was called from now on, and it just accidentally kills his character that he's been farming for like 1,000 hours for. Like, oops. That was it. And it's like he's making a video talking about it. He's like writing out an essay about why it's bad, and Blizzard's like, okay, yeah, I see. Oh, you really think that? Okay, well, we'll go ahead. We'll put this right here in the complaint department. All right, guys? Yeah, there we go. That's what happened.
Feedback documents I have given to Blizzard over multiple different games trying to help. Do you remember when the Abattoir of Zir came out, and I made that video?
No, I don't.
I said the Abattoir of Zir is just absolutely not what we want as the endgame content. Well, did you know that I sent this document to Blizzard?
I'm sure they read it.
Specifically outline what you did well, what you didn't do well, and here's why. By the way, 1 week later, they changed half of the stuff. No, it wasn't just because of me. I'm not some narcissistic dumbass that thinks that I rule the world, but at least I was trying. I didn't just say Abattoir bad. Remember when I made the state of Diablo and people said, oh my god, Rax has 5...
I hope Rax knows that there will be no... What happens if our Pikachu tries to use Lightning Bolt on Onyx? The old Pokemon. What happens? Nothing happens, right? Nothing. Well, Rax is Pikachu, and the people that he's trying to get to, they're the rocks.
5 minutes of positives and 25 minutes of negatives. Did you know
not gonna
I wrote
work.
it out?
It's never worked.
I'm trying to explain what is going wrong. And by the way, just to let you know, a little insider info, Blizzard appreciates these things. I don't think at all that I am on bad terms with Blizzard. They have said in the past, it's perfectly fine to state that you are upset with something, or that you're negative. It's just when it's just a vomiting of just saying how much you hate it without any feedback, then that doesn't help them move forward at all. So
I've had the same experience with Blizzard devs, by the way. There's some of them that I'm sure get their feelings hurt about shit that I say, but there's a lot of them that are like, yeah, we know what you think. Yeah, we know. It is what it is. Yeah, they might not listen to the feedback, but they're like, yeah, for sure.
I think there's a big difference between just bitching about something and making an attempt to try to help. And I just want to give you guys a sneak peek. I am not, in my opinion, I don't think I'm just sitting here crying. I really want the game to be better, and I'm enjoying PoE and Last Epoch while we're patiently waiting to see if the Season 4 PTR is going to save things.
It's their last, guys, it's their last chance. You guys remember that? This is their last chance.
The main two...
This is the 5th last chance.
I'd like to address one more thing. There's a bunch of like personal things about people say why they don't like content creators anymore. Kind of looked through them and I saw two things that...
Well, what they really mean to say is they don't like me. I see this in especially Blizzard Games subreddits and any subreddit of any game that I'm playing. Whenever people are talking about content creators, they're really talking about me. That's what it is.
A lot of people were saying about me personally. One of them says that Rax is way more negative. As I said earlier, you're right. I have been way more negative toward Diablo 4 because I have not liked a lot of things that have happened for months. Nothing has worked. Releasing the event in the middle of Season 3. Season 3, everything about the pet, I think, was a complete disaster. The abattoir of Zir.
That stupid little thing.
Nightmare. You're right.
People say it's ego. Nah, bro. Like I'm being serious. Like if you go read the hate threads about content creators, I get brought up more than anybody. Everybody is talking about me. They're thinking about me, the examples that they're using, because they will explain what the problem is, and I will know, oh, that's that one video thumbnail that we made 2 days ago. They saw that video thumbnail, and then they're molding about it. That's what it is.
I am negative toward it, which is why I tried to move away, waiting for it to improve. And another thing that people say is, I've changed. People will be watching my stream and they'll say, what will happen is someone will pick a fight with Rax or someone will start trolling him and then Rax will talk down on them or whatever. You don't know what I used to do? I used to just ignore it calmly and ban them. Or just, you can ignore it and just let them just fester there. But then they just usually just keep repeating what they're saying, and then you ban them because they're like disrupting the stream. And other streamers are way better about this than me. I watch a lot of the Diablo 4 streamers, Mods, Woody, everybody who's streaming, Rob. They're way more calm and easygoing than I am, just in general by nature.
Yeah, and he's calm and easygoing compared to me, bro. Like I mauled the fuck out. People talk that shit. That's why I like to ban people.
I thank you for your patronage.
I've learned this by working on Maxwell. I get much more wound up than most people. But I decided, you wanna know what? When someone starts trolling me, I'm just gonna troll them back. And that actually lowered the amount of negativity in my chat tremendously. Because
I had the same thing happen. Like whenever people try to like clip me out of context, I just say so many things that sound really bad out of context, people gave up. It's just like there's no reason to.
Then people started learning, if I start to pick a fight with Rax, oh, he'll actually just fight back. And that actually cleaned up chat tremendously.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm going out there, and it's not like I fire up my stream and I look to have a battle.
You have a war.
But when people bring the battle to me, I'm happy to engage with it, because usually what they say is absolute nonsense. I'm talking about the trolls. I'm talking about the super negative people. I'm not talking about anybody who actually tries to give me constructive criticism.
I disagree with that. There's no constructive criticism people have. They never done your job. They don't know a fucking thing. People give you feedback, but like usually the solutions that people have are the wrong solutions. Like you can rely on people to say like, oh, I have a problem with this, but like I don't really take anybody's feedback seriously, to be honest. I don't. I do what I think I should do, and it always works. I listen to what other people say, and every once in a while there's something I think to myself, well, if I look at it in this way, I think it makes sense. But in general, I don't. It's constructive criticism. How can somebody give constructive criticism?
Listen to it. And because I have a lot of things to learn, and I've changed a lot of things.
Yeah.
Hopefully for the better, and I'll continue to do better as a content creator. Anyway, just to get back on top of it, the final thing I want to say, I have never rooted for a video game to fail. I am not rooting for Diablo 4 to fail. I cannot explain to you from a quantitative, qualitative, or personal, or any kind of way, I do not want Diablo 4 to fail. And I don't know. The people who think otherwise, that doesn't make me feel good, because I don't know how you...
Well, they think otherwise because they need to justify. They're not thinking that because of what you're saying. They're thinking that because of how what you're saying makes them feel. They like Diablo 4, and they are unwilling to acknowledge that other people don't like it. So what happens? They come up with a reason why their opinion is actually right. That's it.
I don't know how you arrived at that. Maybe for the hate views, but my channel is not based upon just farming hate views.
That's mine.
Look at my channel.
That's my channel.
How many hate view videos have I ever posted that didn't have a bunch of feedback that I sent to Blizzard to try to make the game better? How many? Was there even a single one? I guess I'll give you one. Was the what's it called, the Gauntlet? That's your one example.
Oh yeah, I
didn't send
watched
them
that
any
one.
feedback. I tried it once. It's in the middle of the season, and I quit. There's
The Tomb
there's
Lord.
one
That was the one with
example.
the
You got
Tomb
me on
Lord
that.
in it.
When else have I ever done that? I really don't know. About the closest thing I can ever remember to being very, very upset at a video game and not caring about how its future was Diablo Immortal. And of course, that was the game that made them like $1 billion, and I'm sure we're going to get another one of those in the future because of it.
You remember that?
Anyway,
Those were the good days.
I don't think I've ever made a video like this. I never made a video, addressing a certain negative topic. You're supposed to ignore it. That's the golden rule, and just press forward. But
I think it's important to give your 2 cents, but after that, if people aren't willing to pick it up and listen, then you just gotta move on. Like, you can have a conversation 15 times with a dog, and at the end of it, it's still not gonna understand why the sky is blue. Because it's a fucking dog. And you're just never gonna get through to people that don't want to listen. That's just how it is.
I hope this has convinced at least some people who might have been wondering, hey, is Rax really just against D4? Has he really went to the dark side? No, I'm in favor of every single game, and I hope every game releases godly and continues to improve, and I will do everything that I can to any gaming company who wants my help to help them. That's it. Thank you.
Well, it's crazy that PoE paid him all this money to make this video, to make us think that we don't, to give us doubt that he's actually being paid by Grinding Gear Games to kill Diablo 4. It's pretty fucked up. They even had him make this video too. You think you're gonna fool me? No, bro. Like, we know what the truth is, because that's it. That obviously this is how it is. Every video I've seen of Raxman helping play or whatever they're playing, yeah. Whenever I saw a Reddit thread, I couldn't help but laugh. Well, where's the Reddit thread? Where is it? Let's go ahead. Let's take a look.
To succeed.
We're gonna look and see what the fuck this is. Here, I'll give the video a like. This is, I mean, people go through it a lot with this kind of stuff, and I think it's funny. It's sad to see a little bit, but it's also a bit funny because I know that I've been in this position a lot myself. Try to explain it to people, they never fucking understand. It's so annoying, and it just drives you crazy. Let me see if I can find what this post is, see how many of them getting mad about me. Don't worry, 95% of people... Asmon, 3 of 19 yep. Yep. Asmongold's claim to fame as being so physically ugly makes the average stream watcher feel better about themselves. Yep, that's right. I don't really get Asmon as a negative. It's all about me, bro. Like, everybody's always thinking about me. Like, I pull it up and you already know it's gonna be about me. That's life. Rent free. Yeah, this is what they do. This is what they do. And I guarantee you know what this guy probably is? He's probably fat. He's probably fat, sitting there talking shit. Shut up, fatty.
That is the biggest load of shit I've ever seen. I didn't even get a chance to do anything. To be taking the piss. Oh, fuck that, man. That's such shit. I literally can't do anything about that. That pisses me off when shit like that happens. Like, come on, at least let me give me a chance to fucking drop or something. Automatically thrown off the edge where there's no chance to recover. Like, that's just trash. It's not fun. Shut up. See, like this shit. How do I combat this? Oh, come on, man. Like, how the fuck am I supposed to fight? Ah, yeah, drop me again. Fuck off. What is this shit? Fuck off. Fucking help. You have got to be joking, dude. Wow, okay. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to... How am I supposed to fight this thing? It just fucks off and drops me. Like, how am I actually meant to get on it and hit it? Can't do shit! Get up! Hurry up! Fucking hurry up! Shake it off, you loser. Yeah, land, come on. See? How am I meant to destroy these bricks? Oh, God. Fuck off. Fuck off. Shittiest fucking enemies going around. Piss off. fucking use them then. Bay Wayside Shrine.
The creature's corpse will serve us well. You cut quite the hunter's figure.
Whatever, I don't give a shit.
If I might be so bold as to speak my mind, different masters favor different pawns. One whom I served preferred to have Beastrons for allies. Words worth hearing.
Such times remember. Draconic blood flows through the veins of lesser druids. Then I bid you farewell.
Well, it takes two to make a sail, and this cellar had nothing to tempt us with. Our funds are better spent elsewhere. Gold is a resource best spent judiciously.
Wait, what?
I'll collect that. You needn't trouble yourself.
I don't know what to do here.
So much as the gleam of treasure, cannot help but want to claim it, however far it may be from our goal. We expect that's a common occurrence in our line of work.
For fuck's sake. Just grab on, you dickhead. Like the thing's right there. Alright. It's gonna be a way up here.
Could yon chest be hiding? Must know.
Let us hope your curiosity will be rewarded.
Tis about time we pressed on, wouldn't you say, Master?
God, they need better bloody directions here.
You would gather materials here, Master. Can we really afford to carry more? This should help.
Since remember, draconic blood flows so long as ye retain your will. However, some years past, it appeared his intent was to order you need not sigh. Still, after all, so it stands, a mockery of one perhaps. The dragon is understanding, it is a being as are you. Then go. Since times of eld, remember, draconic blood flows, then I bid you farewell.
Alright, finally, for fuck's sake. Oh shit. It's probably time for dinner. I'll be back later.